Hello and welcome to this lesson in AutoCAD Civil 3D 2010. My name is Whit McCormick and I am the Civil Solutions Specialist at AutoCAD, and I've got a question. Have you ever been working in a drawing in Civil 3D, whether you're new to the software or whether you've been using the software for a while, but you go in and you create a point or any other kind of object and then you drag your label out and all of a sudden your dragged state doesn't look like you want it to. It may be the colors change, it may be the text actually changes positions, the leader doesn't go back to the actual point, it's offset like it is here on the screen. Well, this lesson is going to teach you how to fix those issues. So let's get started, and you can see that I have created 2 points on the screen, and this is just to show you what's going to happen. If I want to change the color of the particular entities in my text, I want to go to the Settings tab and I will find a little yellow triangle that indicates a description or label style is being used in my drawing. So I'm going to right click on that particular label style and select Edit. It's going to bring up my Label Style Composer dialog box, and here I just need to change to the particular component that I want to change the colors for. In this case, we're going to change all three of them. We'll go ahead and start with the description. We're going to change that color to red. Then we're going to come back to our point number, and we'll change point number to, let's say, yellow. And then we'll select the point elevation, and we'll change that color to green. And then we'll click OK to apply that style, and now you can see that our labels for this particular point have changed. Now if I click on that and I go to a dragged state, which just means I'm dragging the label away from its default location, you'll see a couple of things here. We get a leader that's automatically created for us, and sometimes that leader doesn't go all the way to the center of our point, like I mentioned earlier. We'll fix that momentarily. But you'll also see that the leader points to, or the shelf of the leader points to the middle of the middle line. That is because in this particular style, the dragged state is set to as composed. But what if I want to change that location? If I go to the Edit button again, on that particular label style, I look at the dragged state. We can change the color of the leader. Let's say we want it to be red. We'll change that here. But you'll notice that as long as I'm using an as composed state, I don't have the option of where the leader is attached in my particular label. And if I want to modify that location, I'm going to have to go in and use the stacked text display type, so that I can change that to, say, middle of the top line. When I click OK, you'll see that the leader color changed, and now all of a sudden our point label style has changed. The leader goes to the middle of the top line, but notice the order is now incorrect. Well, that is because once we go to a stacked text, the software defaults back to the order in which the particular components were created. So if I look here, description, point number, point elevation, if I go over to the Layout tab and look at the component name, you'll see that point description, point number, and point elevation occur in that order. So how can we fix that? Well, to fix it, it's very simple. The first thing we need to do is make sure that our component name is on our point description, and all we're going to do is delete it, and then we're going to recreate it. So when we delete it, if I click Apply, you'll see that our point number and elevation move up. We're going to come back over and select the text field to create a new piece of text, and this is going to be our point description again. So we'll type that in. We're going to change the anchor component to our point elevation label. We're going to change the anchor point to the bottom left, and then we need to change the attachment point to our top left so that we get our text stacked again. Then for the contents, we need to go into our label text, click on the ellipsis button, and highlight our label text, come over to our properties, and we're going to select our raw description. Click the arrow to push that over onto the right hand side. Click OK. We'll apply that, and if I apply it, now you'll see that the label is as we want it, point number, elevation, description, but our colors are still not there. So how do we fix the colors? Well, if you look on the drag state, the only thing we can do for color is by layer or establish one color for the whole label. I don't want to do that. I want it to look like the other points. So I'm going to go back over to the layout tab, and this is a little sneaky, but it's one thing you can do to fix it. My component name is set to my point description. I'm going to go ahead and click on the contents field under text so I get the ellipsis button. Click the ellipsis button, and then I'm going to highlight the raw description label that we just created. I want to go over to the Format tab, and under the Format tab I can reset the color to whatever I want it to be. In this case, we want it to be red, so we'll click OK there, and you'll notice that it adds the colored code in front of the description under contents. So if I go over here and select my point elevation, we'll click on contents again, get the ellipsis button, bring up the editor, highlight it, go to format. This one should be green. We'll click OK there. We'll go back up to our point number, do the same process, highlight our text, go to format. We'll change that one to yellow. Click OK, apply that change of styles, and then we come back to our drawing, and now our style is corrected. The last thing we need to do is look at creating the leader that goes all the way to the center of our point. To do that, we have to go over to our point styles. We're going to right click on our basic point style that we're using here, select edit. We're going to go to the summary tab, go to the marker properties, and under the first item there, leader stops at marker, we're going to change that from yes to no. We'll click apply, click OK, and now you can see that the leader goes all the way to the center of the point marker. Now again, I just use point label styles here because it's simple. It's something that we're all going to see inside of our drawings, but these techniques can be applied to any type of label that you create inside of Civil 3D. If your drafting standard shows, say, a pipe label with the station and offset as one color, pipe inverts as another color, you can use the same techniques to create that style for those pipe labels. So I thank you for watching this video. I hope it helps out, and please come back to our YouTube channel, check out some more videos. We'll have more Civil 3D videos posted shortly. If you have a request, you can always email me at dwm@alacad.com and request topics for videos. I'll be glad to take a look at those topics and see what we can do. And again, I thank you for watching the video and hope you have a good day.